Hey everybody, welcome back to another business analysis video. In today's video, I'll be talking to you about the differences between mockups, wireframes, and prototypes. What exactly do these mean? Do they mean the same thing? How do we draw them? And why do we draw them as business analysts? Now, the wireframes, mockups, and prototypes are all visual techniques to help stakeholders and dev team to understand and follow the requirements. I think newbie business analysts may be confused about these three terms, the differences, when and how we use them, as well as who creates them. So let's start with wireframes. Wireframes are what we create during requirements elicitation, requirements analysis. It's a blueprint of the future system without any color or functionality. It shows the visual representation of the key elements of the user interface. It shows the layout, it shows the functionality. It can be designed very quickly by BAs by using just a paper and a pen to visually support the system's requirements. It's generally in black and white, and while drawing this, we don't really care about the look and feel of the system. We mainly just care about the layout and the functionality that the system represents. So as much as we can draw this on paper, we can also use various tools such as Visio, Balsamiq, Lucidchart, and Smart Draw to create our wireframes. Now, mockups. What is a mockup? I did mention that wireframes are a blueprint of the system. Now, a mockup, on the other hand, is a detailed visual representation of the system. It's an improved version of the wireframe, and it shows how the future system will look like. It has the color schemes and is a detailed visual representation of the future system. However, it does take more time to create because we're applying the color schemes and looking really at the look and feel of the system. However, the user cannot interact with the mockup or the wireframe. They can only see the first look and feel of the system with colors and begin to envision how it would look like in the future. It's closer to the user's requirements of the system. So mockups helps the stakeholders to start to comment on the color scheme or the font or where various other aspects of the system should be applied. During the requirements analysis phase, all through to design and before development, the business analyst can create the mockups with help from the UX team if needed. Now, mockups cannot be created on paper like wireframes can, and they should be as close as possible to the true system, to the expectations of the requirements, so that you can save time during development. Now, finally, what is prototype? Think of prototype as a replica of the system. It represents the closest, truest visual representation of the actual system, what the future system is meant to simulate for user interaction. So also think of it as a simulation of the system. So it exhibits all the system's functionalities and it's close to the finished product. It has clickable buttons and other interactive components for the stakeholders to experience. Stakeholders can get the feel of the system, and it enables their feedback to be captured. On the other hand, prototypes are very time consuming, unlike the wireframes and the mockups, and they're generally designed by the dev team, not really the business analyst. However, the mockups and the wireframe help feed into the prototypes. So the business analyst will also be responsible for demoing the prototype to the stakeholders and noting their feedback at the same time. So finally, why exactly do we need to create mockups, wireframes, and prototypes? We need it during requirements discovery. We need it to help the stakeholders to visualize the future system. It also builds trust with the stakeholders so that they see that visual representation of the system, and they know that the team really understands what they need the future system to provide. It helps both the team and the stakeholders to understand the requirements quickly and efficiently. Secondly, it helps the business analyst to elicit and capture a complete and accurate business requirements, saving development costs and also saving back and forth between you and the stakeholders. Thirdly, it helps your stakeholders, the users of the systems, your customers, to really experience the look and feel of the system during the demos that is delivered by the business analyst, so that they can really make quick decisions about changes, comments, or various other needs for the future system. So that's it for today's video about the differences between the mockups, wireframes, and prototypes, why we use them, who creates them, and what value they add during our requirements elicitation practices. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope that it's added some value to your business analysis journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. You never know who it might help. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.